Greedy. Miller's hurt. Bad. I need backup in the catering area.
Delta, Christ.
Don't try to move, Jim. Help should be on his way soon.
No time. Boss me to drink. Too late for me, gents. But you, there's still time to save the others. Oh, the gold mask. They poisoned the champagne. Sent it to meeting rooms beyond the reception hall. Oh, I tried to stop them, but I ended up here.
Jim, I'm sorry.
No, this isn't on you. Understand? You're a good agent. Wait.
Save your strength.
No. Listen. That's not what I wanted to say. What I mean to say is, you're a good man, Adam. Even when I doubted, I always knew.
Mac, Miller's dead. Bastards use the orchid.
Christ. What about Brown and the delegates?
I'll let you know when I find them.
Well, there you have it. Miller is dead. He was a stooge for VersaLife, but at least he wasn't a villain. And that's what happened when you play the role of a stooge. Well, the thing is, he was playing both sides of the fence. He was trying to satisfy VersaLife, but at the same time he was trying to be a good cop. Find a way to nail VersaLife, because they were like his boss and stuff. So he was just a stooge. Eventually he was trying to do the good thing in the end. Can't really say he's a good guy, but he's not really a bad guy either. He was just a stooge. Just like I think Vega's a stooge for Janice. So I was right about Miller. He doesn't seem like the bad guy to begin with. He was very much the stooge. And yes, he's dead. It says Miller is dead. So he can't be pretending to be dead, because it says here he's dead. That's Miller, dead.
Miller's dead. Bastards use the orchid.
Christ. What about Brown and the delegate?
I'll let you know when I find them.
Moving fast. On sweep. Park is near. Causing trouble. Watch the corners. On hard now. Stay high. Flush him out. Find this asshole. Double back to the exit. Moving on more. Get ready for a fight. Let's take him out early. All good on his mind. Easy mark. Lost primary. Keep him away from the caravan. Mark is near, causing trouble. Find this asshole.
Some people call this project an artificial utopia, but Alex, you can't have artificiality without art.
Tune in episode in this series, where we will look at the technology of sustainability. This is Eliza Casal, reporting to you live.
Keeping you alive and clearing a way.
Copy that. Sweet for Mark. Sector clear.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
McCready. I'm too late. They're all dead.
Memorial services are being held around the world today for Santo CEO Nathaniel Brown and several prominent members of the UN Security Council. Brown and his guests were murdered last week when augmented terrorists attacked the Safe Harbor Convention in London. Interpol released chilling images from the murder scene, admitting that the attack could have been much worse. Apparently, members of the Augmented Rights Coalition, infuriated over the death of their leader, also plan to blow up residential towers surrounding the Apex Center Convention Hall. I do not know about you folks, but I think it is high time the United Nations passed the Human Restoration Act, so we can all sleep safe again at night. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you.
They're fanning the flames.
From Picus.
Fanning them? They lit the fucking torch, man. Eliza might as well go door to door handing out pitchforks.
Ark was gonna be blamed no matter what. From the second Brown opened the doors. If he'd listened to me.
Too friggin' arrogant to listen. He gambled big and he lost big for all of us Augs. Damn it. We were so close to pushing that vote back.
We were close to losing thousands of innocent people, too.
Yeah, I know. And thanks to you, we didn't. Hell of a choice you had to make, Adam.
If I could have saved them all, I would have. But sacrificing thousands for a shot at an uncertain future, to me, that's not a choice.
It might have been our best shot at that future. Now we'll have to find a new one. Listen, you know I'm on your side. I'm just pissed because Janus texted me last night. Told me the Human Restoration Act has already passed. They're just waiting for Picus to stir up the mob some more before officially announcing it.
Janus knows that for a fact?
Yeah.
So they got what they wanted.
I'm sure they're feeling pretty good right about now. But this bullshit act, the segregation, the violence, is just gonna make everything worse.
I know. The task force is gonna be busy.
You're not planning to go back to them, are you?
Wasn't aware I'd left.
But you did your time, man. You already proved that outfit is corrupt. Why stay?
We know what's coming, Alex. The Collective needs all the help it can get. And it's not all smoke and mirrors. The task force does make a difference.
Sure, not everyone in the organization is compromised. Just the ones issuing all the orders.
Miller wasn't corrupt. He was a good man, a good cop. Maybe if I'd seen it sooner. My point is, there are others inside the force we can trust. We just have to find the right people.
Can't say I like this, Adam, but you're the one taking the biggest risk. I feel Janus in. He's been looking for an angle to get us closer to Manderley and Page.
I'm sure I can find one for him. But when you speak to him, tell him this too. If we're going all the way on this, we need everyone on board, including Janus. I think it's high time we met the man behind the mask, Alex. Don't you?
This report just in. Law enforcement officials in Prague have tracked down and captured the bomb maker, whose deadly explosive devices claimed the lives of dozens of innocent travelers earlier this week. The woman, an ex-army demolition specialist named Allison Stanek, appears to be a religious fanatic and leader of the tech cult group, Church of the Machine God. Police arrested her and several of her followers inside the cult's headquarters, following an extensive investigation. If you ask me, folks, that is some very good news indeed. A coroner's report released in Prague today offers shocking new insight into the death of Dr. Talis Rucker, former leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition. Apparently, the primary cause of the doctor's death was the exceedingly high level of alcohol found in his system. No other toxins were present, nor were there signs of any suspicious activity. Sources close to Rucker tell me he had been struggling with alcoholism ever since becoming a public figure. I am sure I do not need to remind you folks that the organization he founded, the Augmented Rights Coalition, has been linked to last week's horrifying terror attack in London. It seems not so long ago that Dr. Tallis Rucker was on this very program, trying to convince all of us that his Augmented Rights Coalition was a non-violent organization. Today, of course, we are all a little bit wiser. It did not take long for ARC to reveal its true colors once Dr. Rucker was dead. Since last week's attack, the United Nations has officially labeled ARC a terrorist organization. As we speak, brave state police officers in the Czech Republic are raiding ARC-controlled compounds inside the Udalek complex. Here is an example of the defiance they are encountering.
This is where you have it all wrong. Wrong. ARC was framed. You people, you don't see, you don't realize that Viktor Marchenko was not ARC. He was trying to kill ARC, kill the cause. But he has failed. We are strong, we are innocent, and we will not be used as pawns by rich, scared men who want to make us less than human.
I am sorry, young man, but methinks thou doth protest too much. The Diwali criminal organization is under intense scrutiny this evening for their role in the London attack. Evidence uncovered by Interpol indicates that high-ranking members of the chapter in Prague supplied weapons and logistical support to ARC terrorists. Among those being sought for questioning is Otar Botkavelli, leader of the Diwali's Prague chapter. Sources close to Botkavelli tell me he has only recently assumed this role and should not be held accountable for past mistakes. I do not know, folks. Is this really the face of a man we can trust? Join the online discussion and let us know what you think. News out of Paris today, where a sharp rise in illegal underground publications may have links to a prison escape recently orchestrated in Prague. Last week, Czech state police were holding members of the underground news group Samizdat on charges of disturbing the peace, human trafficking, and media terrorism. The radicals escaped their holding cell, however, and are believed to have subsequently made their way deeper into Western Europe. Shortly after their escape, a radical publication called Silhouette began appearing throughout France. Has Samizdat rebranded itself as Silhouette? I am sure you will agree with me on this one, folks, no matter what name these people go by. There is nothing more dangerous than the spread of false news. Turning our attention now to a more colorful story. A recent incident inside an illegal underground drug laboratory has led authorities to the heart of Prague's Neon operation. According to sources familiar with the new drug, the dangers of Neon had more to do with illegal distribution methods and criminal ties than with consuming the drug itself. Make no mistake, folks, Neon is illegal, and the dismantling of this laboratory is good news for everyone. However, some government officials have hinted to me that the drug may have therapeutic benefits, and if so, a government-approved version of Neon could be made available to the public eventually. Further testing will be required, of course, so only time will tell.
Okay, so the most this game can get is an 8.7. Reasons why. The girl that was arrested as the bomber, I saved her in order to have evidence that she was set up by Victor. As long as she's alive, VersaLife can't get away with it. So it was up to me to ensure that she stays alive. but she was arrested by police and everything. Which means Interpol is keeping an eye on the police, ensure that she doesn't die or anything. So there's still that. Now, if it's revealed that she told information to Viktor Marchenko that it was set up for Ark to take the fall, that information should be disclosed to the police department from Interpol. Now at the end, they basically said VersaLife got away with everything. That's bullshit. Because all the evidence, all the paperwork, all the documents I have, especially saving the girl, and she was alive and she's still alive, leading to Victor. Now Victor is supposedly Ark, which assumed to be Ark, but Jensen has the documentation of members of VersaLife setting up Rucker, and evidence from Victor having conversations with receiving the Orchid bioweapon. So the whole media thing, that's just for the general public. However, as an ending to a game based on evaluation and evidence, everything I have should have been enough evidence to, I gathered from the beginning to end, that VersaLife was behind this. So for this game to end without all that evidence stacked on top of each other, including the girl being alive, is highly questionable. So what's the point of me saving the girl, gathering all this evidence, if they could just cover it up with some bullshit media, which has no evidence with regards to it? And why isn't none of this going towards the courts or anything? Or go straight to Interpol? Why isn't anything with regards to what's going on with Interpol and international and the UN? Why is this brought up to the UN? Why does the game end here without all the evidence and everything I collected going to the UN? Why is nothing that this guy went through, none of the evidence I collected, everything matters at all if these people just cover up everything with shallow cover up, nothing that's irrefutable evidence, or irrefutable, yeah, I keep saying the wrong thing, irrefutable evidence that this is what they did. If Jensen has the information, if Miller has the information, and if he passes it on to Interpol, they have the information. They're either waiting for the bigger game, which means VersaLife hasn't won. VersaLife hasn't won at all. They're just waiting. So the girl Janice talking shit, Vega and Janice, is bullshit.
Should have all been informed.
That is why we are here now.
Volkart, what's done is done. The broad strokes of the operation were very clear and haven't changed. There are always adjustments that will occur in the field. You should know that.
Adjustments? Those were not mere adjustments.
Interpol was more capable than we anticipated. They have a new augmented agent by the name of
Adam Jensen,
who we believe may have had external help, possibly by the Juggernaut Collective or even Janus directly.
We're looking into it, but
all that is speculation at this point. Let's find out more and reconvene later this week. Thank you, everyone. That'll be all.
It's your own fault.
I'm aware of that, Doctor.
Elizabeth sends her regards.
Report.
Overall, the subject seems quite well adjusted despite the massive traumas he's experienced, and his memories are still consistent with the program. He is remarkably stable.
Excellent. How close is he to contact with Janus?
Very.
It's only a matter of time.
And there you have it. My suspicion on the doctor. Turns out I absolved the doctor because going towards the end, there is no identification that the doctor was involved, but I was always suspicious from her to begin with. She was in the dim spotlight, then I took her out of the dim spotlight because going towards the end, there was no more evidence that she was involved. However, at the beginning of the game, she was very fishy. And then she always followed me everywhere I went. That's why she was in the dim spotlight. Only towards the end, I took her out of it, even though I was suspicious of her from the beginning. Because it didn't make any sense towards the end. She was hiding in the shadows the whole time. But I always knew she was hiding in the shadows the whole time. It's just at the end of the day, it didn't prove anything, any relevance towards the end of the game. Why have someone just pop up towards the end of the game with any proof whatsoever that this person is relevant whatsoever at all, other than someone that's hiding in the shadows? Guess what, motherfuckers? I already knew she was hiding in the shadows from the beginning of the game. I identify her. I tagged her as being by the stairs every time I exit. She's in the main office. She showed up to the station, TF-29, when the lockdown happened, even though cop says nobody can. Come on. She was obvious as shit. But I got rid of her and threw her to the side past the 75% marker because she posed no relevance towards the end goal of the story. She was something hidden in the shadows that's not relevant towards the story of Mankind Divided. So fuck out of here. Trying to put it like, oh, you never knew it was her. I always knew she was in the fucking shadows. She didn't serve any purpose whatsoever at all. It's bullshit. Just like the end of the game is bullshit. All the evidence I got. So I'm dropping the game back down to 8.5. Fuck out of here. When you make a game, make a better game. Don't be clever and think you're smart and shit when you make a game. Because guess what? You see all these people here? If they're the writers and creators and directors, if they thought they were smart, well, guess what? Society is not as stupid as you think. Everything you put in front of you with the breadcrumbs leading to certain people, guess what? Everyone knew. It's just a matter of tagging these things. I didn't involve her, the doctor, the good doctor, and everything because she doesn't pose any relevance in the story. She was just in the shadows. Just like Ariel was in the shadows. Just like Chang were in the shadows. They're not the overall relevance to the story. But which one of them were acting antsy? Ariel was acting antsy. Chang was acting antsy. The doctor was acting antsy. So that's all. I got all the information tagged correctly. Yes. I don't know. There's nothing else. Nothing else I could say. So Arya was absolved. Chang is absolved. Who else? I don't know. I can't think of anyone else. The doc would have been absolved. I mean, the doc is absolved. To be honest with you, the doctor is fine. The doctor is very fine. I'm cool with her not being the bad guy of the story because she's not really the bad guy of the story. She's someone that was hiding in the shadows. She wasn't in charge of manipulating anything. She was just in charge of keeping an eye on Jensen the whole time. That's all. So they're trying to, they could have done this to Chang, they could have done it to Arya, and put that person towards the end. Arya was acting fishy, Chang was acting fishy, lots of people were acting fishy. The doc was acting fishy. So, it doesn't matter, you know, I tagged the doc before I tagged Arya and Chang. Before the halfway point, or during the halfway point. So I don't know what these people think they wrote, but it wasn't as clever as they thought it was. If you follow the breadcrumbs in the past, that's why I'm giving the game an 8.5. Anyone who has this game in the 9, that's all good. But this game cannot go beyond a 9 territory. So It's 8.5. I believe that's the highest it could go. The end story abruptly ended. The enemies won. The enemies won. What else? They got away with what they were doing. I don't know, man. I don't feel it was that good of an ending. It's kind of stupid. I know there are people who say, well, not everyone can enjoy what they wrote. It's like, because what you wrote is obvious. And it's not a good ending. We knew that this was leading back to VersaLife. We knew that Victor was antsy from the moment we met him. We knew that Janice was antsy from the very beginning and suspicious, which he still is. We know that Vega is suspicious, which he still is. We knew that the doc was suspicious, which she still is, and is involved with VersaLife. Everyone who I believe was suspicious was suspicious. The only person that I was wrong about was Nathaniel Brown through the entire game. So, if these people thought that they created something smart and intelligent, well, all you need to do is follow the breadcrumbs when it comes to these stories. It wasn't that good of an ending, but the overall package of the game is good. I'm giving the game an 8.5. At most, this game was probably like, if someone had fun with this game, give this game an 8.8. But this is an 8.5. I'm sticking with 8.5. Every time it goes up, it goes right back down. Throwing the good doctor at the end to say, hey, we got you, you know. She was always there at the stairs. You know, if you were paying attention, you would know she was following you. No shit. Every time I saw the doc walking by the stairs and stuff, no shit. She wasn't that not difficult to tag. I came out the room, she was walking from the stairs. She was chilling, you know. I came out Miller's room, she was there. She was involved with Black. She said, what was it that she says? Oh yeah, Joseph, who's part of VersaLife, showed up before her at the location. I like this, like they're trying to put it like you couldn't have figured that she was involved. It was like, no, she wasn't involved, because she really wasn't involved. She was hidden in the shadows. She wasn't the front story. She was just somebody in the back. So she wasn't relevant towards the story whatsoever. Having her here is like if Chang turned out to be the bad guy, or Arya turned out to be the bad guy. It's not relevant whatsoever at all. What's relevant is how the story ended and how the story proceeded. I didn't like that ending. That's not a good ending. All the evidence I gathered and all the information into what Interpol has in conjunction with Adam Jensen, me making sure that girl didn't get killed, keeping her and her father safe, all the information, all the notes I've gathered, all the people I talked to, Sarif as well. None of this matters. I'm pretty sure they're taking all this to the UN. So for them to try to play it off like VersaLife got away with all this seems like bullshit. Or someone tried to cop out or exit out. guess what? Freaking The Evil Within is better than this game. This is a more mental headed game and requires more detective work to figure out what the hell is going on, left, right, center, up and down. But if I think of the overall package, from beginning, middle, and end, a cohesive story, action, suspense, thrill, horror, emotion, The Evil Within 2 is a better game than this, man. About the best part about this game is the detective work, figuring the corruption, who's in charge of who, what's going on. That's the best aspect of this game. The best aspect of this game is figuring what's going on. Nothing else. The Evil Within 2 mechanics is better. The Evil Within 2 weapon handling and use of ammunition is better. The use of map is better. I think about the only thing good better than this, than the Evil 2 with regards to combat, is attachment with regards to weapons and saving. No, I think Evil Within 2 is better because you have to go into office to save by drinking coffee, and you have to micromanage your weapon like Resident Evil. Whereas this game gives you a shit ton of weapons, but half the time you don't need half of those weapons at all. So the inventory system within your storage case and all the weapons is kind of stupid. Yeah, I think the Evil Within 2 is a better game than this. Besides the story, besides the detective work, I say the detective work in this game is better than Evil Within 2. But overall, Evil Within 2 is a better game. Yeah, I gave Evil Within 2 like a 9 point something. This didn't even get to a 9 in my opinion. The detective work and the story is good, but the ending, complete bullshit. Like, what's the point of everything I went through? All the evidence I collected, the people I've saved, if none of that is going to be considered in the end. None of that is going to be put in front of a judge or sent to Interpol. I mean, the only people that got something out of this was Janice. Nothing was mentioned from Interpol, with association with Adam Jensen, or with Seraph. Like, Seraph wasn't even involved in this damn game. They just popped up every now and again. And Interpol were like, there was no cutscenes to show Interpol was involved, but Interpol was involved. Yeah, I'm not cool with it. This is a good game, but it's damn sure not better than Evil Within 2. The best part of this game is the detective work and the story. That's it. The powers, I like the powers. I like the different abilities. I like the abilities as well. The weapons are kind of dumb, but I like the powers and abilities. The only reason I have Evil Within 2 above this is because the overall package of Evil Within 2 is done better. That's a horror game, so you can't really compare them together, but I'm not comparing the horror aspect with regards to this game. I'm comparing the game mechanics to this game, and beginning, middle, and ending of a story, whether it's a horror, whether it's a romance. Now, let's say I'm being unfair because this doesn't fall into a horror aspect. I will have to compare it to another game that falls into that aspect. Oh yeah, and another thing, the damn volume is annoying as hell, man. I have the volume at 70%. It feels like it's at 80% or 90%. I turn it down to 30, it's still loud. Something feels like it's at 50 here. So yeah, Mankind Divided was good. It's a good story, but there was a tons of thing happening all at once from different angles, trying to fool you. But there was no point in trying to fool you, because I guess towards the end it's pointless. VersaLife still gets away with everything, so what's the point of trying to solve everything if VersaLife is still going to get away with something? The whole point of saving and following a path is for you to get justified with regards to the path you've chosen. She got arrested. That's it. VersaLife covered it up and said she was an extremist. Obviously she was. But what about the evidence? VersaLife can't really cover up, that she was the bomb maker and stuff. If she's dead, they get away with that easily. But now apparently VersaLife can get away, regardless of what path you were going to take. VersaLife was going to get away with it. So what was the point of the story? VersaLife is going to get away with everything to begin with. That's not the point of detective work. Detective work is to catch the killer. If the enemy is going to get away with products towards the end, there have to be some justification for the attempt to do anything to begin with. Janice winning while Jensen lost, Interpol lost, and Sheriff lost is not victory towards the end, because I wasn't helping Janice to begin with. I was very much against Janice, and I was using Janice, which was using Vega, to see where Janice plays with regards to what's going on. Was Janice a good guy? Was Janice a bad guy? I wasn't for Janice. So even though I was helping Janice, I wasn't for Janice. So even though Janice kind of won towards the end, even though VersaLife won towards the end, I wasn't really for Janice. So I don't think this is better than Evil Within 2, even though they're two different genres. Detective story-wise, it's a 8.5. It went up to 8.7, but the ending of the story was bad, man. I went through all this work, searching documents, saving people, giving back information to Interpol, talking to Sheriff. What's the point of all of that if VersaLife just covers up everything? And none of the information Adam Jensen has, he passed on to Interpol. So what the fuck was the point of saving the bomb girl if you're going to let the cops take her and not tell Interpol, hey, listen, we have evidence. She says Victor was involved. We got documentation that Victor asked her to do certain things. She admitted verbally. And also I have a coded document, actually a coded hologram of both Joseph and the leader of VersaLife talking about setting up Victor to kill Rucker. What the fuck is Adam Jensen doing? Why doesn't he give that to Interpol, thus giving that to the UN? So yeah, this is why this is staying at 8.5. It's a great game, but it's not that great a game. Anyone who says otherwise, you're an idiot. I played this game from beginning to end. I paid attention to every single aspect of this game. The doctor turns out to be, she was a bad guy at the end. Whoopie fucking do. I knew she was something wrong with her from the beginning, from the moment I met the doc in TF-29. But she's not a player within the story. She just shows up towards the end credits to say she was in the sidelines, like Nick Fury showing up in Avengers. You ever heard of Avenger Initiative? You have nothing to do with this goddamn story of Mankind Dividing. You were in the shadows. No shit, I knew you were in the shadows, but I knew you weren't relevant. Whatever story these people created, they assumed they were so goddamn smart when they made it. Listen, if someone write certain things with regards to an enemy on a piece of paper, this is suspect 1, suspect 2, suspect 3, suspect 4, and then start drawing lines from each of those suspects. This person did this. This person did that. This person connected this. This person connected that. Then you put spotlight on each of those things. Eventually, a person would figure it out. These people who made this game assumed that average person, the average human being, wouldn't go that deep. Well, guess what? Not only average people play this game, above average people or people who are into detective work play the game. And I'll tell you right now, from someone who dived deep into the stories and looked at a majority of every single goddamn script and email in this game, and the people I talked to and saved, including crazy ass bitch that turned out to be a psycho that killed Oggs, and the detective I knocked out who was trying to kill me, who I didn't kill. It's an 8.5 game. If I go on Metacritic or whatever and anyone has it in the high nines, that person doesn't know shit about anything. That ending was terrible. I did all that hard work for that bullshit ass ending. No, Mankind Divided is a good game. It's a good detective game. Mechanical wise, hide and seek, hiding behind cover, good as well. Gameplay wise, good as well. Do I think it's better than Evil Within 2? Hell no, it is not. Because the story wasn't as consistent as Evil was. It didn't have to play this person is this person is that, this person. The entire Mankind Divided was trying to pull me away from the direction which I was trying to get to. It's like, really, you're gonna do this? Like, I guess you think majority of people play games are stupid. I see the end credits showing all the people who made the game, but like, it's like, wow, yeah, you people, thumbs up, you're so smart. I figured half of everything that you thought was clever by the halfway point or before it. And the doctor who showed up in that hologram with the, Illuminati, the Versa Life people, or the Illuminati people, no shit, Sherlock. She was by the stairs, watching Jensen and she were walking downstairs in the TF-29. She was in the office when I was there. She was talking about how she was with Joseph. Joseph was here before her. She showed up to the TF-29 when the lockdown happens, even though cops didn't let anyone, but they gave her a pass. Like she wasn't obvious. All right, so I'm not gonna rag on this game or rant on this game. It's a great game. It's a good game. It's a good detective game. However, it's not an overall good game. An overall package good game is something that you're happy about the devil's in the details, as well as the full seal of approval, beginning, middle, and end. This is a great game. I wouldn't give this like a badass seal of approval. I'll just say it was badass, but not a seal of approval. The ending was bullshit. This is a good game, but I'll rather play Evil Within 2 a second time than play this. So I recommend this game if you want to figure out what's going on and you like corporate corruption. But I wouldn't recommend this game if you want a satisfying ending, because that wasn't a satisfying ending for all the hard work I put in. Fuck that. So yeah, I'm done with Deus Ex. Probably won't play it anytime this year, or next year, or the year after. Like, I don't do games that don't give me a satisfying ending for all my hard work. So if you are going to buy this game based on my opinions, like, buy older Deus Ex game, buy World, buy the original Deus Ex, or go online and see where the stats with regards to the Deus Ex game. Revolution wasn't that good. Mankind was better than Revolution. The original Deus Ex was better. World was better. So I would go with Deus Ex World, or I forgot the actual name of it, and the original Deus Ex. Those are the two best ones. Mankind Divided falls in the middle between, from a top 10. From 1 to 10, Deus Ex Mankind Divided would be a 7 or an 8. I say Deus Ex Mankind Divided is an 8. Hell no, it's not a 9. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'm done. Back to Warframe, and guess what? I guarantee Evil, what's the name of the game? Resident Evil 7. When I get that game next week, I guarantee that'll be better than this. And no, I know they're in different genres, but what makes people come back to a franchise? It's not just the mechanics, but it's also the story. If you make the story great but the mechanics shitty, people don't come back to it. If you make the mechanics great but the story shitty, people don't come back to it. That's the problem with Horizon Forbidden West. The mechanics were great, but the story was shitty. That's the difference between Evil Within 2. The mechanics were great, and the story was great. So I'm gonna come back to that. If I don't play Resident Evil 7 by next week, I'll probably jump back into Evil Within 2 again. So that's it. It's like, I enjoy this game a lot, and there is a new game plus. I believe there is. Yeah, there is a new game plus. I get to keep everything. But now that I know what the ending is, but like, what a terrible ending for such a great game. I was willing to give this game a 9, but what a terrible ending for a great game.